Is it the way you love me, baby? Is it the way you love me, baby? Is it the way you love me, baby? Talk your shit. It's time for me to break silence, speak my truth. It's been weighing heavy on me all weekend. Mother's Day, one of the most hectic Mother's Days I've ever had. Four girls, the third child had to make a big mess for me. I had so much cleaning up to do. I had to throw in the tub right away. I digress. Speaking my truth is coming up out of everything that might have been embarrassing, that I didn't want to talk about, that I've been suppressing. This Jill Scott, Erykah Badu energy opened some doors. There's a lot of things that I know, that I knew, but it's manifested. It's happening now. A lot of things that I don't even know where to begin because there's just so much. I can say right now where I am is because what they did opened some doors. I don't even know what these tears are, but it feels like a purging, like something passed, kicked down some doors, opened up something. I knew we were on the brink of a rebirth for a while. There is a rebirth happening. And the fact that Jill Scott even said it confirms it. In the midst of what they were doing, I don't know if they realized what they were doing, but it's something big. With all this that's going on with COVID and everything, because I don't buy into the hype. I call it the COVID crap or the pandemic or whatever other words you could call it. Because I don't have the patience for the hype. But I know it's bigger than that. I know this earth is on a shift. I know there's a global shift happening. There's a big spiritual shift happening in the masses of the people. It's been happening at a very, very slow pace. So we couldn't see it. And somehow in the last couple months, it just got speeded up. And it affected a lot of, I want to say, light workers. For all the light workers out there, there's a lot of us out there. We might be star seeds, empaths, whatever you want to call it, but there's a lot of light workers out there. And those of us who truly are, before COVID even hit, we got hit with something. Our wave hit us. Our world got shaken up, like, I want to say at least 2 or 3 months before all of this happened. We're the remnants. All of this hit us first for a reason. Most of us got hit in a very personal way, mostly relational. A relationship that is just took a quick left, pulled the rug underneath you, and you bust your head back. So I say this to say that by the time Corona hit, the only answer that came to me was for such a time as this. All of that had to happen to prepare us, so we're not shocked with the rest of the world. It was still uncomfortable. It was still somewhat of a shock, but it didn't shake us like the rest of the world, because we had already been shook. When our wave hit us, we got our pandemic, or we got our corona like months in advance. Whatever happened to us shook our whole world as we knew it. So when corona hit, it wasn't really that much left to shake. We was already, kind of out of shell shock, which means that we were supposed to be strong enough. It happened to us for a reason, because it was to prepare us to be strong enough to withstand, to be the light workers. And to be the best light workers we can be, we have to build up our light. We have to work on forgiveness, even though a lot of us might not want to hear it. I know I didn't, but true forgiveness. Other ways that we have to work on carrying this light is dispelling fear. Our light has to break the darkness of fear. Fear is the opposite of love. There's nothing more low vibrational than fear. Fear is even a lower vibration than anger. It's better you get angry and then snap back out of it. But to sit in fear, which is what a lot has happened to a lot of people, to sit in fear is not healthy for you. Mentally, physically, spiritually. It's just not healthy for you. I know that's one of my jobs, is to dispel fear. All the light workers out there, we are definitely on a mission to break fear. Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, big, heavy light workers. I've always known that. I've always been, it's no coincidence, I've been a fan of their music for a long time. So if I do karaoke, theirs are the only 2 songs I can sing. Tyrone and Let's Take a Long Walk. But what they did just opened so much doors. And it's like a pressure. I can't even explain what I was feeling. I had to come outside. And as soon as I came outside, the tears just started falling. And I'm thinking, I don't even know why I'm crying. I don't know why. It's like I know, but I can't really explain it. But I know there's a shift happening. I know the world has felt it. And it's like they were ushering this new energy. And I know what the new energy is. It's no coincidence they're women. Another shift that's happening is that we are coming off a paradigm. What do you call it? There's a pendulum swing. From the divine masculine to the divine feminine. For years, thousands of years, this earth has been operating under the divine masculine. A lot of us has, even though we're women. It has nothing to do with gender. I've been operating under the masculine energy for a long time, knowing it. Very, very masculine. And now this shift that's happening is to usher in, it's a new energy, the divine feminine energy. It's like there's been a complete pendulum, I'm probably not saying it right, but a shift, a swift pendulum shift. And it's swinging over to the feminine. Been operating too heavy in the masculine, and now there's a need for the feminine. That's why even this corona had to happen. I shouldn't say had to happen, but the things in the physical plane does happen to kind of coincide with what's happening in the spiritual. Everything happens in the spiritual first, whether we see it or not. This shift was already happening. It just so happened that it manifests in this form because the earth is so filthy. There's so much negativity. There's a lot of things that need to be cleansed up. During this sit down, it gives the earth, Mother Earth, some time to be clean. Less pollution. There's a reason for all of this. Not saying that's what the powers to be did it for. They have a different agenda. But what, as we all know, what evil plans, God or good will turn it for the right purpose, the righteous purpose. So while they have their agenda, we can't even really get hooked on it. At first I was upset and everything because you see through the BS. You see it for what it is. Like I said, you could get in anger, but you got to come up out of it. But this had to happen to help bring in with a new energy that was coming in, whether we like it or not. Ready or not, here we come, is what the energy is saying. The divine feminine is coming in, ready or not, here we come. And for those people that struggle with it, it's gonna be hard. If you don't know how to sit down and relax, because that's what the feminine energy is, it's non-action. It's not just diving in and reacting and acting to things. It's non-action. It's a time to be still. It's a time to go within. To get instructions. Because the feminine, if you look at the feminine and the masculine, and I can't say this for myself because I got it from a Christina Lopez video, The Heart Alchemist, who spoke very well on this energy and the dynamics of it. If you want to understand it more, go to Christina Lopez, because the way she described it is beautiful. It's as if the masculine is the man, as we know, and it's the way to give it a visual, and the woman is the feminine is the woman. It's as if they were going through the woods, and with the masculine energy, you just chop, chop, chop away. The woman would represent the compass, the man would represent the axe, the action, the doer. And he would just chop, chop, chop away. He doesn't check with the compass. He's walking with his woman. This is how we've been operating. And you just chop, chop away. And it's only until you get through it and you realize, oh, I'm in the wrong direction. And you turn around and, you know, looking at the woman, and she's like, well, if you listen to me, I have the compass. If you had took the time to, you know, ask before chopping away, we wouldn't be in the wrong direction. But the move, the move that we're in now, the mode with this feminine energy, it's like this now. We're going in the woods, and the woman has the compass. So now with the feminine energy representing the woman, instead of just chopping away, action, 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 he stops, looks to the woman. What's on your compass? Before we even chop away, let's take time to look at this compass. What direction are we going in? What are we doing? Before lifting that axe. I say that because I say that to say this, that before we get caught up in our actions, and this is again driven through the emotions. The emotions, yeah, we caught up in how we feeling. Everything that we mad at, the fear, all of that is coming out of emotions. Which is why we need to forgive. Because forgiveness is tied to a lot of emotions. It's about forgetting the emotion tied to some things. But the emotion will have you operating, even though it's emotion and people think it's very feminine, it is a feminine aspect, but with the emotion, while operating in the masculine energy, we tend to just chop away. Chop away. The emotion makes us feel like this, and we get into action real quick. Right now is the time that even with that emotion, to sit still and look at the compass. Don't react. Don't have an action. Sit still. Create. Go within and let the creation come from within. There's a creative process in all of us. And it doesn't have to be artsy creation. Whatever that creation is for you, we need to create. There's just so much happening right now, and it's a big, big deal what Erica and Jill Scott ushered in. I know plenty of people had to have been crying. This had to have, and I don't even know why. Watching it, I'm wondering even why. What's this feeling? And I had to look, of course, deeper in the spiritual eye to see that this feeling is coming from, because it's bigger than us. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than what I think it is. It's bigger than what we all think it is. It's ushering in a new energy. The only thing I could think that comes to mind is purging. Whatever needs to be purged. This is what's happening right now. Let it all fall away. Those who choose to hold on to it, it's gonna be a struggle. We're at the apex of it right now. We need to make apex, that's the word. What happened, what they did, we're at the apex of this journey. A decision needs to be made. It's either you're gonna go within, you're gonna go with the flow of where this spiritual shift is happening, or you're gonna stay stuck in your masculine energy, which you can choose to do. But whether you like it or not, the shift is happening. It's not going to be operating on a masculine energy anymore. So whatever you choose to operate from in that manner, you're going to suffer it. We have to make the choice to push forward with this energy and usher in this new energy. And when you see that it's even affecting men, because then I watched the commentary, if you will, with Swizz and Timberland. To even see men admitting it, men had to shed tears. They're telling you that even they shed tears, so you know this is a big thing. There's something that these women broke through with what they did. And it's no coincidence, it was right on Mother's Day. This was to usher in Mother Earth. Happy Mother's Day to Mother Earth, to the mothering energy, to the divine feminine energy. It just broke through. It kicked through the door. It didn't even have to really kick. It's been kind of kick, ticking. But Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, they opened the doors. It's like they opened the floodgates. They ushered in the masses of people. They ushered in this energy. And that's why everybody is so, I don't know how many people realize it. It's not just, oh, they did, it was the songs. Like, we know these songs. These are songs we've heard before. Most of them, or some of them. It wasn't just, oh, this beautiful concert. It was the energy. What moved everybody was the energy. The divine energy that came with it. We have our work to do. Light workers especially, we have our work to do. Whether you spiritual or not, the shift is happening. There's a great awakening happening. Everybody in the spiritual realm knows it. We may be talking about it in different ways. We may be taking it in different contexts, but everybody in the spiritual realm, any type of medium, psychic, spiritual person, pretty much knows that there is a shift. Anyone that's tapped into the inner, the intuitive and the inside, which we all have that connection, but some people are just more really tapped in and tuned in. Their frequencies, their raising, their vibrations are on that frequency. Which, speaking of frequencies, is something that I know we have to do. We have to raise our vibrations. I'm looking at, it just made me look at so many things. Speaking my truth. What I've been through. Because my story is no joke. I swear I would have just came out of a Lifetime movie. How you spend 5 years with somebody that want to build a family with you, that just walks away right when you have the baby. And then I'm reading these many different stories on Facebook. It's so many people that went through the same thing. It's no coincidence. Wake up. You're a light worker. If this hit you too, a couple months ago, you a light worker. This had to happen for such a time as this. The rug was pulled out from underneath you already. My whole life changed as I knew it. So when COVID came, it was like, what's new? What's next? My world already got shaken up. 1 minute I'm heading down one direction, thinking I have a tight-knit family. I wouldn't say perfect, but a family life with somebody that wants to build with you, be one with you, speaking all the right things and everything, and in the blink of an eye, they snap. All of a sudden, it's not the person you knew. He's some type of narcissist. You find out, I didn't know till he left. I don't know, guy was just bringing things to me. And most of us that this happened to, if you check it, I'm pretty sure you was dealing with a narcissist. Somebody that you think loves you or whatever it is, for them to snap like that, or just that's a mental thing. And I'm not just talking regular narcissist, NPD, the personality disorder. They might not be diagnosed, but if you do your research, I'm pretty sure it'll add up, because all of the narcissists, NPDs, they follow the same script. They may do things slightly different, but if you really do your work and check in on it, it's like the same person. You'll read different stories and you'll be thinking, is this the same person? Especially if they're covert narcissists, which I think that's what most of us was dealing with. Somebody that was kind of underhandedly. They wasn't a bold, overt narcissist. It was kind of under the radar, so you don't notice it. And that's why it does that much more damage, because you can't believe what it is, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. For me, I can speak for myself. Like, I've been under hiding with this. I didn't even want to post nothing about it. Like, usually I'm good with posting my feelings, communicating. I clammed up. I didn't want to show any more weakness, because being broken like that, it's like, how much more vulnerable you got to be. For me, I can't speak for all light workers. What made it hard for me is I had already been working on this. Already. For 5 years I've been in a relationship. Right before I met him, I was at the highest spiritual point that I've ever been at. Ready to marry myself. If anybody that knows my posts from back then, around that time, I was really at a self-love place, and I was ushering. When I look back at it now, I was already ushering in this divine energy. I started to work on myself, because I was very, very, masculine. Like, I cut niggas off quick. As soon as they slip, they slide. I don't give them no play with me. Men, to me, my logo was just men couldn't be trusted, period. But right before I met him, I opened up. And I said, all right, I'm going to be this. I'm going to be this woman, this feminine. Because I've always told, even by my male cousin, oh, I act like I'm like a nigga. I'm like a dude. Oh, nothing can't hurt her. Everybody think I'm so strong that nothing can't hurt me, because I'm just like a dude. Not that I don't cry. I've cried, but I'm strong. So I'm quick to just dismiss. I don't give a man no time to get to me. I would always tell women, like, don't let them get comfortable. That was always my thing. Don't let them get comfortable. As soon as they get comfortable and they put their foot up, kick their footstool away. That was my thing. I would never let them, don't care how much I love them, I would never really let them know. I might say it with my words, okay, I love you, but to me, I'm just saying anything. But actions-wise, I wouldn't want to show how vulnerable I am, because to me, that's weak and they could take advantage of you. So yeah, I was just never about that feminine energy. So imagine how hard it was for me now to meet this person. Somebody who, by the way, I was not attracted to. He wasn't my type, nothing. And I had to humble myself to the experience, and give this person, who I don't even know nothing about his background, his history, nothing, and just say, I'm going to make this person my king, and I'm going to submit and humble myself to be as feminine as I could be, and put down all my guards. Because part of me operating in that masculine energy, my guards were up. My walls were up. I always used to tell people my walls were like a tall brick wall with barbed wires on top, whatever kind of stuff, with booby traps, everything. I had a serious defensive wall. So with this, not only did I take down the booby traps, take down the barbed wires, I brought my wall all the way down. Not a little, not half mask, peekaboo, let me see what you're gonna do. All the way down, full trust, something I've never done. So to do that was a big deal, and I've done that for, like I said, 5 years, and I got put through some tests. 5 months in the relationship already, I was ready to walk out. And it's like, no, I'm doing my spiritual work, and when I'm seriously doing my spiritual work, I don't just run from stuff. So of course, once I went within, Spirit was like, nah, you're gonna have to stick this one out. Don't move.
You know, let them move from you. You don't do anything. You so quick to just run, drop, like I said, drop a nigga. You so quick to run. You're not gonna run this time. You're gonna stay put. Stay put. That was the word I kept getting. Now that I look at it, this is like what I said about the feminine energy, the being still, stay put, don't move, don't react. That's exact words I got when I went and said, okay, God, because I'm ready to walk away. This man done showed me he don't respect me, he don't respect you. Because, you know, real quick to say what happened. Um, we had only been dating for 5 months, and I told him we can move in, but let me think about it first. You know, I don't want to just jump in like that. Things were moving pretty fast. Let me go give it to God, because my relationship was with God first and foremost. Before I met him, I told him I'm married to God. That's my husband. Let me go give it to God. Give me 3 days. Don't talk to me. Don't call me, because if you do, it's going to influence a decision, and I didn't want nothing coming in while I'm trying to just receive a message from God from within. So when I take the stance to practice this, mind you, this is a strictly feminine energy move to just stay put. Don't put in no input. Okay, baby. Just stay still. So I did. I went, give it to God. 3 days I asked. This person, he couldn't take it, couldn't understand it. So just within 3 days, by the third day, he went to go invest in another woman, let's say, look towards another woman. He took what I said as rejection, rather than just humbling himself for 3 days. If you know I'm going to talk to God, and you a man of God, which of course he wasn't. He didn't really understand God like that. He didn't have a spiritual connection like that. He had certain principles, but he just didn't know God like that. If you see that that's my mission, and you say that you respect it, wouldn't you just wait until we get an answer? No. He went and go find somebody else or whatever. So in that, it was just a big, he didn't do anything with the person or nothing, but it was something that his intentions. I look at intentions. Intentions is, you know, what's coming from our heart, and that speaks volumes. So that showed me that you are walking out on not just me, you ready to turn your back on God. So I saw no loyalty there, and it upset me so much. I was hurt. I was real hurt, because I really been giving this man within 5 months so much that I've never given any man that I've dated. The energy that I was giving him, the humbleness, the humility, the fact that I even called him my king, because I don't call no man my king. I'm my own king is the way I always looked at it, with my masculine, in my head, masculine energy. No man's going to rule over me. I'm my own king. So anyway, that happened. I continue on. I struggled with the relationship. Like I said, I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay put. All right, God, you want me to stay put? Because my thing was to walk away. But of course, I stayed. A couple months later, I didn't really see what I needed to see from him, so I was ready to walk away. But that's when I